nothing was really stacked in our favor. We had to make it that way. On the stretch drive, we knocked three of the four top seeded teams off.
It was, so there's a footballing cliche which is it's a game of three halves, and if you look at the season as a whole,
Yeah.
it's definitely that. So you have the first half of the season where the points are climbing, you're kind of feeling your way around the league. The road form maybe wasn't as good, so we're getting shut out on the road, but doing better at home.
Yeah.
You've got that December that you've just mentioned, where it's injuries and it's schedule and losing Shane Owen, and then you come back after that, and suddenly every weekend you're picking up points.
Yeah.
Let's look at the first third of that then. That first part of the season.
Okay.
What was going on there?
Well, I think we had to see how we sized up against everyone. We had a lot of guys. We had a whole new team, so we had guys have to learn to play with each other. As a coach, you have to continuously evaluate who should I use in these situations, which guys should I use in certain situations, which guys shouldn't I use, and we also made some changes up until Christmas time, and because of that. Every change we made, we upgraded, in my opinion. So, because we did that, I mean, that's not unusual at all. But we did it. I heard, from what I gather, hasn't been a norm here, but I was given the go ahead to make those changes. And sometimes they were beyond my control, but but we always upgraded, and because we upgraded, we got better, and that helped us compete as the year went on. We improved our whole contingent as we went along, would allow us to compete better.
So we have the injuries in December, which we talked about, but then you come to that third section, just after Christmas. You start picking points up, and it was every single weekend you're either getting 1 point or 2 points or 4 points. What changed in that period?
Well, I think we got healthier. We found certain guys stepped up, like for example Brady Putau. He was a guy, he improved his game and earned the right to be in there every night. Whereas in the first half, I had 6 defensemen, and I was rotating guys in and out. I wasn't sure who to go with. And so he didn't have the opportunity to show himself. Once he did, then he gave us more than I I anticipated, and he earned a spot. He really earned a spot in that lineup. So that was a big plus. But guys we changed some personnel. Like Vitaly Pavlov came in and played on a top line, and we were able to take advantage of his skill set. And we stayed healthy after Christmas, after New Year's. We stayed healthy, and I think just because we stayed healthy and found that we got better, and we didn't have 14 games in 28 days like we had to do in December, and so we weren't exhausted, and we were able to play, and we had something to play for. Because December had put us so far down in the hole, we had to battle back, and we couldn't do it like one swift chop. We had to chop the tree down a little bit at a time. and that's what we did. We kept poking away, trying to get points every weekend, and we did. So that was that's why we got better. We had something to play for. We had a goal to reach, to try to get to the playoffs, and we got healthy. So that was, I think, the big thing. And I think, down the stretch, well, I'll save that, but Shane Owen really settled in and played real well for us down the stretch.
The league is probably the closest it's ever been. I mean, looking back at the 10, 11, 12 years that the Flyers have been in the Elite League, I can't remember it being this close. And there was a lot of games where it was just 1 or 2 goals in it. There was a lot of overtime wins and things like that. Have you ever experienced that in any other league that you've coached in?
I can't recall ever being in a league that came down to so many possibilities on last days of the schedule. Like there were 5 teams, and there was a number of possibilities. Who was, what would happen? We were, just you look at the schedules of the other teams. You look at what happens here, and really it wasn't. Nothing was really stacked in our favor. We had to make it that way. And when we went into Cardiff or Guildford and beat them, pretty good team. Guildford, we went into 2 top 4 teams and beat them that weekend with Guildford. The following weekend with Cardiff. Then we had beat Belfast at home here. And we had beaten Sheffield earlier at home in December. But on the stretch drive, we knocked 3 of the 4 top seeded teams off and 2 of them in their home rinks. So that was big. We didn't do that. We weren't gonna. Well, as the points dictated in the end, we weren't gonna make it, but we did. So we kind of, had some big wins there.
I say the league was really close. The league was really close for 9 teams, and then you had Sheffield, who were kind of out their own.
Yeah.
What was it about that team?
Well, Sheffield, they had good speed, they had good puck control, and their transition game was the strongest in the league. From defense to offense, they could really push it. And so if you made a mistake, they were coming right back at you. And really it comes down to skill set. They had defensemen that handle the puck and move it. And they had forwards that had real good speed. And it showed, in the playoffs against the short playoff against them. They didn't make mistakes. They had puck. When their shots, everything went in. Like it's the first part of the game. And the guy who was the MVP in the league scored the first 2 goals on 2 great shots. So, that's their skill set decided and dictated how good they were going to be. But that doesn't mean they can't be beaten, because that could happen. And we're doing this on the day of the playoff final. And I'm not going to concede that Sheffield are a shoo-in. I mean, they're playing, I think they're playing Guildford today. Guildford's a good team that can knock you off. We had good success against Guildford this year. I think we beat them at least 3 times. And they beat us, I think, in overtime. I think we had 3 wins and overtime loss against them. We had good success against Guildford. But, so we were right there for a lot of games, and I feel good about that part. How would I put it? It's pretty common knowledge that the big fish come and try to take all the good players from all the smaller budget teams, and so I know we have guys that turn heads this year. Once the the big fish get fed, then we'll see what else is out there for guys like me. But I'm doing my homework, and I know I'm doing it long enough. I know where to go.